But we're talking Brooklyn-born athletes. We're talking about homegrown guys. That's what we're gonna. So some sports have a little more than others, but we want to talk about the guys that are from the streets of Brooklyn. Brooklyn's quite large. If it was its own city, it'd be like the third largest city in the country, I think. But it's not. It's part of New York City.
After Rhode Island.
But what a guy after Rhode Island.
Okay.
What are some athletes? I'll start with Stephen. What are some athletes, famous athletes, that come from our very own Brooklyn?
Well, the first thing you think of, especially in my grandfather's day, and even in coming up as a kid, the first thing you think about when you think about Brooklyn is boxing. For me, it's boxing. So guys like Floyd Patterson, guys like Iron Mike Tyson, made Brooklyn, put it on the map from Brownsville, one of the toughest areas in all of Brooklyn. Training out of Brooklyn, put Brooklyn on the map, and we got a great video game out of him.
One of the best video games of all time.
Mortal Kombat?
Hard. No.
All right, I'll stop with that stuff.
And his YouTube clips of just, his interviews, which are, but his clips of his knockouts are just
And the one-man
amazing.
show that he did, Undisputed, which was fantastic.
It really
he did
was.
For, I believe it was HBO.
Really
Not only that, he's doing a podcast now. Hot boxing with Tyson.
I did not know
He
that.
does one with Peter Rosenberg too, from the Michael K. Show.
Yeah. He's really embraced the
it's good to see him have a
performance
second.
type of,
Exactly. That
career
Undisputed really took
Hangover.
That Undisputed really took another side of Tyson. Really dove into him. He's
A lot of people didn't know what it was like growing up in Brooklyn to keep it in
and he
the
has
same
a
vein.
kind of a sad story with he got tied up with the wrong people who were trying to just vulture him through his career.
It must not have been from Brooklyn.
You're talking about the promoter, Don King?
Yeah. But it's
Tyson is, not to steal your guy, but I'm fascinated.
I think we could share him.
Okay.
I'll have to call him,
Tyson and Muhammad Ali, I'm fascinated with both of them, so I've been on many Mike Tyson YouTube binges. I've probably watched every interview the guy has done, / probably half his fights and all his knockouts.
He has some of the best sound clips of all time.
What do you do with the other 17 minutes left in the hour?
So, no, in all seriousness, Tyson not only, obviously everybody knows about his speech impediment, etc., but the guy is philosophical and smart way beyond what he's
Larger
given credit
than
for.
life. Yeah.
And if you listen to some of the things he says and his philanthropy and his life lessons, he's phenomenal to watch, and he can teach you a lot of things. Not only about, what it's like being a star at the top, but being the lowest of the lows when he went to jail for rape and all the drugs that he's done and hit rock bottom and depression and this and that and suicidal, and he really is not only one of the most influential and amazing Brooklyn-born athletes. He's maybe the top 5 of all time in any sport, from anywhere.
So let me ask Stephen. I'm going to ask you because you brought up boxing, but I want to try to get into it because I really like all the stuff Chris was saying about Tyson because it's really great to hear that he has so many other layers to him. But what other sports are you think big with Brooklyn?
The other one would probably be most synonymous would be baseball. I would say baseball because the Brooklyn Dodgers, a guy like Sandy Koufax, they were called the Brooklyn Bums for years.
Yeah.
Had the Dodgers not moved under duplicitous means, mind you, to LA, I would have absolutely have been a Dodger fan. I wouldn't be a Mets fan that I am today. And still, you can hear people still chanting for the Dodgers to come back. It's mostly old timers, but I would say Sandy Koufax is the prime example. That 55 pennant, that World Series, all of that.
He's from your alma mater, Lafayette High School.
Unfortunately, I don't claim it. I can't.
Well, Chris
was there for 11 days.
There's and John Franco.
Franco,
from the same high school.
For sure.
Great baseball.
I graduated high school with his daughter, Nicole, actually.
Really?
Shout out to Nicole Franco.
Does she have a nice...
You graduated high school with...
No, but his son,
hold
John
on, you
Franco
went to-
Jr., Poly Prep.
Oh, yeah.
John Franco Jr. got drafted by...
I thought it was, you don't have to be from Brooklyn to know that. For some reason I thought Severian, but that's why I was like, Severian, how'd you graduate from Severian?
No, actually, speaking of Poly Prep, we're going to talk Brooklyn-born athletes. Before I quickly get into
Yeah, I was
that.
gonna basketball.
I'm going to give a
I'm sure you
shout
get into
out to
basketball.
Joakim Noah, who's
Yeah,
not from
he's not born in
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn, right? But he went to
I was on JV when he was on varsity. I was a
Oh,
freshman,
okay.
he was a senior, so
I didn't know you guys
we
overlapped.
practiced
Oh, that's awesome.
all the time together and played
Well, that's
together
perfect
all
because
the
I was going to
time.
ask you about basketball with the
Well,
guys.
Michael Jordan was born in Brooklyn, and then his
Fort Greene.
family immediately moved him to
It counts.
Carolina.
We're claiming it. Brooklyn is claiming it. We're
All right.
claiming
I
the
guess we
greatest
can.
of all time.
Bernard King was a Brooklyn legend.
Yes.
Legend back
Went
in
to
his day.
My alma mater and Mr. Bridgeside's alma mater, Fort Hamilton High School.
And then you got Carmelo Anthony, you got Chris
Chris
Mullin.
he was born, but then he moved, right?
Yeah.
Not as early as Jordan. Jordan
It still
was
counts.
born and he was gone.
If you've ever had, this is what makes
Melo,
it
I
count.
think, lived a little here. Then he went to
high school here.
Well, he did. I thought he grew up in Baltimore.
He went
too.
to Lincoln.
Yes, you're right. He
Did
moved to
okay.
Baltimore.
But continue. I'm sorry.
No, Chris Mullin, another tie.
Mullen.
I'm sorry, but Mullin,
No,
my
Mullen.
uncle went to Zavarian with
Yeah.
him, and Mullin, a couple friends of my uncle's grew up playing with him, and they said he would come and just literally run the courts.
Mullen. They said that there wasn't a, because he went to Catholic school.
Yeah.
There wasn't a Catholic school gym that he didn't know how to break into, because he used to just go and just play at night.
Now he became the coach of St. John's.
I treat this guy who was a ref in public school and Catholic schools for the longest time.
Well,
And
tell
still
them, what
is.
do you treat him? Physical.
I'm
They don't know. They don't know.
Sorry, physical therapist. They should know. If they want, come on.
Yeah, it's in the name. He's a doctor.
But he's right. Physical therapist. I treat a guy who's, and I love talking about basketball because he's a big basketball guy. He's been around for a while. He's been coached. So he's refed guys like Lou Alcindor. He calls him Lou Alcindor because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Manhattan, New York City, Connie Hawkins, Wally Zerbiak, Mark Jackson.
Wow.
Chris Mullin too. The list goes on. But the point is, to make a quick point, he said Chris Mullin ran the fast break better than anyone he's ever seen. I was like, Chris Mullin? No, you wouldn't expect.
You wouldn't expect it, yeah.
He just said that he would run the 3-on-2 better than anyone because he would stop at the foul line, he'd make the pass, or he'd hit that foul shot, and his jumper was so good, he hit it every time. So,
Could you imagine if the NBA, I still would say that Curry and Thompson will go down or would have gone down as the best two shooters of all time. You could throw Ray Allen in there, but I'm putting those. But when Mullin was around, or even the 70s, 80s, 90s, if they really promoted the three-point shot more, and Bird, of course,
I
Reggie
gotta give it
Miller.
to Bird. Bird's the top guy. I got to give it to. I know what you're saying because I agree with you.
If the game was more, planned outside in versus inside out, Chris Mullin was one of those guys that would go down as maybe a top 20 player of all time.
I agree.
Because he would have put up numbers.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's the best to come out of Brooklyn?
Let's
take Jordan out of it because he would win no matter what, and he's born here, but let's take.
I would probably go with Tyson as far as most recognizable, most accomplished, a person who has had the most cultural impact as a Brooklyn athlete. Someone who's had a ton of success as well, Joe Torre, under your flagship team.
And I think he has like a little league that was around for a while, or a stadium around the Marine Park.
I'm not sure. I'm not
He
sure.
does.
But Brooklyn sports here, little leagues everywhere.
Gil
John
Hodges.
Franco has one.
We got to throw in Gil Hodges. Talk about Gil Hodges Field. We're talking about Little League. Got to throw in Gil Hodges. Brought the Mets their title. Was the manager in '69. Was on the Brooklyn Dodgers. Was born in Brooklyn. If there's a guy that's bleeding Brooklyn, he's not here anymore. If there's a guy that's bleeding Brooklyn, it would be Gil Hodges.
I believe Ty Cobb as well was one. I'm not sure about that.
No, I'm just going to add a kind of a random name, but
you the best.
Cool name.
Who's the best?
The best, Jordan or Tyson.
And then you give me the cool name. No, forget Jordan. Jordan doesn't count.
All right, Tyson then.
Okay.
Hands down.
You give me a cool name.
Paulie Malignaggi, the boxer.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got his cult following of Italian Americans throughout the country, and he's right here from our neighborhood in Brooklyn. Well, he's from Diker, but Bay Ridge, Diker.
Adjacent.
Yeah,
it's very close.